Welcome back to Video Game News Daily, the only video game podcast where you don't want to skip the loading screen. To get notified of new episodes, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com and subscribe to this podcast for game news every weekday. It's Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. Let's do the thing. A free demo for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is live right now on Switch 2 and Xbox Series X and S, a month ahead of the full release. Progress takes over, and Square Enix is dangling some in-game goodies if you bring your save forward. Also, pre-orders come with extra incentives depending on platform, because it's 2025, and we can't just buy a video game normally anymore. Hollow Knight Silksong is getting a free DLC expansion called Sea of Sorrow in 2026, promising new areas, bosses, and tools. Team Cherry also confirmed a Switch 2 version of the original Hollow Knight is in development, with a free upgrade for existing Switch owners. And for the numbers people, Team Cherry says Silksong has sold 7 million copies in 3 months, plus millions more on Game Pass. Bungie has finally put stakes in the ground for Marathon, confirming a March launch window and a $39.99 price. The studio is also talking up changes since the playable alpha, things like solo queue, proximity chat, and its approach to passes and monetization, with a big no-pay-to-win promise front and center. Because nothing says trust us like saying trust us in bold. Ubisoft has acquired the Amazon Games Montreal team, and VGC notes it also marks the return of Rainbow Six Siege's director. The team is reportedly behind a MOBA called Mark of Giants, and this is very AAA chessboard energy. Shuffle the org chart, keep the projects moving, and hope nobody notices the mileage. VGC also reports Keita Takahashi, best known for Katamari Damacy, says he was forced to leave the US after struggling to find sustained success there. He also mentions he wishes he had the Katamari IP, which, yeah, that tracks. It's a blunt reminder that creative talent still gets kneecapped by the practical stuff, visas, stability, and who actually owns what you made. The QuickShot 2, one of the classic old-school controllers, is making a return, according to VGC. Retro hardware revivals are having a moment because nostalgia is cheaper than invention, and it also sells extremely well to people who want to feel something again. And I gotta say, I've been eyeing off the analog products quite closely. Maybe I'll pick up Pokemon Red again. VGC covers a frankly ridiculous sounding spectacle. More than 2,000 synchronized drones used to power the world's largest playable game of Tetris at the Red Bull Tetris World Final in Dubai. Finalists play 5-minute solo runs, and Turkey's Femi Atala took the win. Somewhere, a marketing exec just got promoted for saying, "What if esports? But outside?" Divinity Original Sin 2 has surprise launched on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch 2, as per Game Informer. It's a nice welcome back lap for one of the most beloved modern RPGs, and also a handy way to keep the Divinity name hot while Larian's working on whatever enormous thing they're cooking next. Game Informer has a dev Q&A digging into Tomb Raider Catalyst, including how it fits the broader timeline, what's going on with Lara Croft's new voice, and the links between Catalyst and the Legacy of Atlantis. If you've ever tried to explain Tomb Raider continuity to another human being, you know why dev clarification is basically a public service. And finally, GameSpot reports Claire Obscure Expedition 33 got a big lift after its Game Awards haul, with analytics showing notable sales jumps in PS5 and Steam, and a smaller bump on Xbox, likely because of Game Pass. The broader takeaway is familiar: awards still matter when they translate into storefront visibility, social chatter, and that precious, "fine, I'll finally buy it" moment. That's all for today. Subscribe to the Video Game News Daily podcast, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com for all the news sources and to get notified when a new episode drops. And send this podcast on to a friend if you know they need the news. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.